Welcome to Switchfoot 182, the podcast. Hello, Switchfooters. Welcome to the World of the Foot. I'm your co-host, Tony, and I'm joined by the sixth member of Switchfoot, the Emperor of Rome, Cesar Perez.
Woo! Dude, my life has changed.
We'll get to that pretty soon. And then
He's like holding you back. He's like, just
well,
chill out, bro.
I'll put my seatbelt back on.
weighing in at 183 kilos. He gained a pound since last time.
I gained one.
Victor Perez.
What's up?
1 kilo.
How's it going, guys?
Okay, everybody. So, it's been good, man. It's been a while, but today's podcast is an emergency podcast because something very special happened yesterday. Cesar, do you want to explain what happened? Give us the whole story, bro.
Oh, man. Okay. Do you want like every dirty little detail?
Yes.
Or just like the quick and easy?
No, I think we can do quick and easy as an intro, and then we want every single detail after.
Okay. So the quick and easy is I went to a Switchfoot concert yesterday with help from my friend's tour, and it was a pretty good experience. For some reason, only 50 people bought tickets for the pit. So there was like nobody in the pit, and the energy was kind of low, but I didn't let that stop me, and I had the best time of my life, and I was jumping up and down, having a good time. I look like a crazy person, but I had a really good time. Made good eye contact with Jon Foreman and all them. So then fast forward, Jon Foreman did the after show. I was able to situate myself right in the front, and there was an opportunity to join the band, and he let me Resurrect Me with him, and so now you're looking at the official sixth member of Switchfoot, Cesar Perez, and I got to play with Jon Foreman. A dream come true. I don't even know what to do with this anymore. It's just like when somebody gets $1 million and they don't know how to spend it, that's how I felt all day today. And so, anyways, that's the quick and easy version. I played a song with Jon Foreman on his guitar. Woo! Thank you.
That's crazy. That's so wild.
Wait, let it count. Let it keep going.
Let it keep going. We gotta let it die out.
Thank you. I want to thank my mom for buying me my first guitar. It's just a true story.
Okay. For greatest Academy Award for Stranger Joining Switchfoot for a Night, the award goes to Cesar Perez.
Thank you. Like I said, I thank my mother for the piano lessons, and then later the guitar. Yes.
Who introduced you to Switchfoot?
I introduced myself to Switchfoot. It was not my mother.
No, what about the Jon Foreman stuff?
Oh.
That's me, bro.
Oh yeah, the Jon Foreman stuff. Yeah, you got me.
And they resurrected me
solo. Oh,
if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have no idea how to play Resurrect.
Yeah, I remember that. I'll tell that story real quick if you don't mind. Maybe I've told the story before on the podcast, but now we have better microphones, so it'll sound better. We were at Christmas, and you were like, that's when they had iPods, and you had the big fat one.
Yeah.
And you were just sitting there being all like antisocial with your headphones in, and then I was like, what are you listening to? And you showed me John. I was like, what? Jon Foreman does stuff by himself? You're like, yeah, it's really good. And then we like spent the whole night just listening to it. So, yeah.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're gonna have to give you a trophy. I'm actually speechless. Yeah, I actually kind of felt bad because I was like, I probably should have seen them in New York, but they probably wouldn't have done an after show in New York. But yeah, I don't even know what to say, man. I honestly don't. It's like, can you give us the details on like because you were texting us yesterday, right? And you're trying
Uh-huh.
to figure out the after show. Like, hey, let us know if they post on Instagram because you're out and about, as you said, in the concert.
Yeah.
And so it looks like you were stalking the Instagram and you saw him post like, hey, after show here. How did you situate yourself in the front so that you could just swoop in and take the guitar and start playing?
So yes, it was actually during the show that somebody yelled out, "Hey, do an after show!" And then John Foreman, you know how he's really great with the crowd.
Yeah.
He made it into a joke real quick. He's like, "What do you mean? I'm not even done with this one." And everyone was laughing, you know. And then he just said, all nonchalant, just keep an eye on our social media to find out where and when. As soon as he said that, I was just like, okay, I gotta stay plugged in. And Tony, I feel like you're the best out of the three of us, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe Victor, you're good at it, but like I feel like Tony keeps us in the loop. And so that's why I text the group right away. I was like, guys, you gotta help me because I feel like I always miss it. And because the last time he did an after show in Idaho, which is a few months ago, and I missed that.
Mm-hmm.
You were the one who sent me the post that he had like when and where he was gonna do the after show. So I was just like, I shut off my phone because I have a new phone now and the battery dies a lot. So I shut off my phone and I kept turning it on like every 30 minutes and just like refresh. It was about 10:30ish around there. Blue October I think they were like on their fourth to last song, or third to last song. And so I found out where he was going. I was like, I'm just gonna go. So I just left Blue October's concert and I went and I hung out near the exit. And then Blue October was finished and everybody started coming out. And so then I left the venue and I was just kind of hanging out up front. So he said that he was gonna be out front, and I just kind of waited and waited. And there was like a group there just kind of all waiting. And really, the word. Do you know what kismet is? You ever hear that word, kismet?
No, kids mint.
No,
Kids?
kismet.
Nope.
Like Kismit. I think that's how you spell it. But that's how you pronounce kismet, right? It just means fate, and that's all I can explain. Like it just I didn't do anything. You know, I'm always trying to be like Jesus. I didn't want to be pushy, and I didn't want to be selfish, and so he showed up, and my friend, by the way, who's 65 and an amazing person, to come and hang out with me all night. And he was like, I convinced him to stay late, and so thank you, Jeremiah, if you ever watch this. And so
Shout
he
out.
was with me. Yeah. And so Jon Foreman comes out of the venue area, and then I like walk up pretty close to him. And there was this area with trees off to my left, but I was like looking at Jon Foreman, so it would have been like kind of straight off into his right. And so I walked up, and there was like maybe 2 or 3 people in front of me. And then John was like, how about we just go over to the trees? Those trees look nice. So everybody started walking over to the trees. So then I started walking, and there was this lady. And I think we've had this talk before about the type of Jon Foreman groupies, right? That he gets. Do you
Like,
remember how we talked about?
Like older women, they like him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
At
so
this
it was,
age.
Yeah. So like it was that type of person that was in front of me, very groupie, like the typical groupie that you see for Jon Foreman. And then so we were all being really respectful and gave him a lot of space. And so this lady was in front of me, and then Jon Foreman said, "You can get closer if you want." So I was like kismet. Everything's fate, right?
Yeah.
In this moment, it just feels like it was just right place, right time, perfect, everything. So Jon Foreman says, "You guys can get closer if you want." So everybody got closer, and the lady that was standing in front of me, the person between me and Jon Foreman, went and sat down on the garden bed that he was standing on. So then that made me. I had front row right there. I promise you, 5 feet at the most that he was away from me.
Yeah, bro.
And so, and Jon Foreman just starts playing. He only played 3 songs because his guitar string broke, which I'm gonna get to that in a second.
Did you break it?
No. He broke it.
Okay.
So he goes on and he gives a beautiful speech about how like why he loves doing this thing. Like music is a thing anciently that connected us, and he's all about that connection. You know, like music today, you have the play button, you press play and pause, but when you're doing like this, there's no pause. You know, and this is an ancient, beautiful way of doing it, and this is why he likes to connect with people after the show. And it was really nice, and I was trying to get good videos of this, but I just kept thinking to myself, I just want to be in the moment. I just want to be in the moment. So I
Yeah.
just put my phone away,
Yeah.
and we got scooched in a little bit closer, and then he starts playing his first song. He played a lot of his new stuff. So the first song was "In Bloom," and then the second song was "I Propose a Toast," and somebody asked for somebody asked a request. They talked about how the song that they requested, they listened to it every night, and they listened to him every night when he was doing that COVID thing, like playing a song every night. And they said that they got through COVID, so he was super cool. Went down and like gave him a hug, and then after that, somebody pointed out like that this kid it was his first time at the show, and he was just a little kid. I mean, he had to have been like 12, 13, 14, somewhere around there. And so everybody gave him a round of applause. Jon Foreman said hi to him, and and then he asked Jon Foreman like, "What song do you want?" Like Jon Foreman asked him, "What song do you want me to play?" And he was like on the spot, like, I don't know, like, I don't know, dude." It was really cool. Like it was a really cute moment. So then Jon Foreman said, "How about this?" And so then he starts tuning his guitar, okay,
Detune.
it was already in some irregular tuning, so he was tuning it back, and he snapped his G string. So like that's like the worst string to snap.
In the middle?
If you snap you're right down the middle, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so like you know, it could have been if it was like the E string, it would have been fine. He could have still played the rest of the night, but like no, it was the G string. So he was just like, "Oh, I don't know what to do," and everyone's like begging him to keep playing, keep playing. So he takes his string and he takes it out of his guitar. He wraps it up. So the lady that sat next to him, you know, the typical groupie type, and she said, "Oh, I'll take that off your hands." And then Jon Foreman was so cool. He handed it to her and says, "Why don't you give it to that kid? His first show. It feels like he should walk away with something." So he gave the string to the kid. And then then he goes back to trying to figure out what to play, and he can't figure out what to play. So if you know how to play Resurrect Me, it's just power chords. So all you need is the bottom three. And so he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll do this one." He's like, "Boom, ba, boom, boom, da 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 da," and I'm like, oh, he's playing that song, and I know that he's I know that he will bring people up to play it because it's so easy. And that was kind of in the back of my mind. Not that I premeditated anything, but I remember like paying attention, like, okay, pay attention to his fingers just in case. And so so he's playing. He gets to the first verse, he sings through the chorus, and he starts playing on his harmonica, and then he just stops. And then he goes, "Does anybody here know how to play the guitar?"
Oh
like,
man! Wait, did you instantly go up?
No, I was shy, dude. That's the thing. Like that's what it was. Just like it was just like poetry. Like nothing was rushed. Nothing was pushed. I just kind of raised my hand. I was like, I do. Like literally, like, just like that. It wasn't like me. It wasn't like that. It was just like, I do. And
You're like shaking.
yeah, dude.
How
He
nervous
looked at
were
me.
you?
Oh, so nervous. So nervous.
Did you pee your
Yeah,
pants?
No, but I messed up.
He tinkled-
If
he
you pay
tinkled a
attention
little
to the
bit.
video, like I messed up a little bit. And I think it throws him off because he's like really trying to follow me, and it was hard for him, I think. But I'm not gonna talk bad about this beautiful event. So that's the most negative thing I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, that doesn't matter. You weren't prepared.
Yeah, yeah. So, but he's like, "You want to play?" And then like I took off my bag because I bought a bag. And then I put it back on because I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, "Are you serious?" And he's like, "Yeah, come up." So I came up, and then everyone's like clapping for me. And then like all of a sudden, I'm like, that shakes, dude. I'm like, what's going on?
Was your heart like?
It was until I started playing, and then when I started playing, it just felt good, you know. And
That's awesome.
but before I started playing, I said, he's like, "Everyone clap," and he starts going like this, you know. And I was like, wait. And I stopped everybody. And I just looked around. I looked at Jon Foreman. I looked at the crowd. And I just want to soak this all in right now. And everyone just starts laughing. But it was like, it was true. Like, I couldn't believe that this was happening. And I told somebody to pinch. It's like, "Hey, pinch me." And then everyone's laughing. So then I start playing. Jon Foreman shows me the chords. And I didn't want to be like, "Oh, yeah, I know how to play." So I just kind of let him show me. And then, because I had played the song before. It's like a song I like to play with Mateo in our living room. We like dance around to it a lot. And so I just started playing the bum ba bum bum da 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 da, that part right there. And I just start playing. He gets the harmonica out, and then I'm like, oh my god! And that's when I like start messing up and getting nervous. But then like there was a moment where like we got in a groove, and I was just, and as soon as that happened, I didn't care anymore about messing up. I didn't care about anything. I was just in the moment. It was so beautiful, and I was like, and we were just playing. He was just jamming out, and then he held out a long note, so I just held out a chord, and he. And then he's like, he motioned to keep going, but I thought we were done. And he's like, no, keep going. So then everybody starts clapping again, and I start strumming. And then he plays the notes on the neck, and I'm strumming.
Yeah.
And so we're playing his guitar together. He has his arm around me. I couldn't believe it. So insane, dude.
Oh,
and his arm around me, and he's playing, and we're both playing the exact same guitar. You know, it's his guitar, and yeah, dude.
What more could you ask for, man?
I don't know, dude. I need to slow down on the story because I'm so hyped up. I need to calm myself down. Yeah, that was a surreal moment, dude. And at that point, I really relaxed because he was taking care of like the music part, and I just had to keep the rhythm, and that was easy. So, yeah, and we finished out the rest of the song, and he wanted a big ending, and I kind of was like, I don't know. I gave him a little ending, and then I went bah at the end, and then everyone said he asked what my last name was, and I said Perez, and he turns to the crowd like, "Give it up for Cesar Perez." I was like, dude. I gave a bow, and then I said to him, "I was gonna ask you to sign my shirt, but forget it now. This is way better."
Do you want a guitar pick?
And he asked me if it's like, do you want a guitar pick? And I was like, oh, shoot, I just stole your guitar pick. I'm sorry. So I reached in my pocket to give it back to him. And I have to go get the guitar pick. I have to show it to you guys. I left it in my shirt when I changed.
Don't lose it.
But, yeah, I know. So, yeah, I reached in to go get it. He's like, no, just keep it. And then, like, I pulled it out and look at it in my hand. He's like, oh, wow. He's like, yeah, actually, it's, whatever.
It's Brian's.
Yeah, Brian from Blue October. He's like, you can, but he gave it to me, so I'll pass it on. So I'll pass it on to my children. That's what I'll do. Stay in the family. But
frame it.
Yeah. Oh no, actually, I think I want to get like a picture, and then like with me with John, and then put the guitar pick like in the corner of a frame or something like that later on in life. So, but I think for a while I'm just gonna wear it like a necklace. Oh,
that's awesome, dude. I love that. Make sure it doesn't get ruined. Oh man,
I'm in.
Where do I don't even know where to start, man.
Dude, yeah. And I basically just gave you the whole rundown of like the whole entire thing. There's a couple of other details, but I'll let you guys give me some input or ask some questions.
Yeah, I mean, like, Victor, you have any thoughts on this?
No, it's just mind blowing that happened. So, like, whenever you guys when you were playing together, like, what was going through your mind at that point?
You I mean, you did boxing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so like, and Tony, you did running, right?
Yeah.
You know when you like push yourself really hard and running, and it's almost like your body just takes over, and like you're just in the zone, and everything kind of just goes out, right?
Kind of goes right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that intense. I don't want to exaggerate here, but it was a little bit of that. Like my body went on autopilot. And I just like, and I wasn't trying to think like, how can I impress him, or what should I say? Because even afterwards, I wanted to be like, oh man, why did I say don't sign my shirt? I should have told him to sign my shirt. That's like prime opportunity. And oh man, why didn't I tell him like thank you for all your music and how it's impacted my life? I didn't think of that. I just like, I'm in the moment. I'm here to play the guitar. I'm here to have a good time, and that's all my body and my brain was focused on. And so, like, it just, like, kind of clicked, and I was just like... So, in some sense, I really wasn't thinking about anything. I just couldn't believe it was happening. And my body just did its thing, and I just enjoyed my time playing with Jon Foreman. I can't believe I just said that sentence. Yeah. I was just enjoying my time playing with Jon Foreman. I'm literally saying that right now. It's just like, is this so real life, dude? I don't know what... Like,
bro,
I said, it's like...
You had a jam session with Jon Foreman.
Dude, I can't believe it. Seriously,
you played half of a guitar with Jon Foreman, and he did the finger thing.
Oh yeah, dude, I just can't believe we shared a guitar. It's like we were like, you ever see the piano guys? They share an instrument. Like that's what we did, me and Jon Foreman. We're the guitar guys. So
That's so
so
fun.
cut that clip, put it on Instagram.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude, I just can't believe it. And yeah, it was just, you know, you get these opportunities and you just give yourself to the moment, and that's exactly just what happened. So instinct kicked in and just gave
Yeah.
myself away to the moment.
And you know, like earlier this year, they went to the same spot, which is 20 to 30 minutes away from you, or yeah, more or less. And
Yeah.
I think it was like a sign for you to come out the second time and make an effort to meet him, because I feel like it encouraged you because the first time you felt like So like you said, it's all about fate, right?
I know. Even like one of my people from my church, I told him the story today, and then she made a comment about like, isn't it awesome that God gives you those little things? And then she stopped herself. Well, this is not a little thing. That's a big thing.
Yeah,
And I was
for
like,
sure.
yeah, and you know, in the realm of heaven, in the realm of eternity, it's a little thing,
Yeah.
but like for me personally, it was a big thing. God knew that was important to me, and
Yeah.
He allowed that to, in His sovereign will, to. But that's a really churchy way of saying it was fate, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was just it was just amazing. There's a lot of little things. Like for instance, he said that he was going to play a Beatles song. He was tuning his guitar to play a Beatles song, but then that's when his guitar string broke, and he sat there thinking, "What do I play now?" And that's what made him decide to play that song. And then eventually invited. And he said at the very end, he's like, and you know, look at his. If you see his songwriting and the philosophy in his songwriting, you can understand why he says this. Right now, it makes perfect sense that he would say this. He said, "You know what? This is why I love moments like this. You know, a broken string led to a beautiful moment like this." And he like pointed at me, and I was just like,
Yeah.
"Dude,
He
That's
said that.
crazy.
yeah." He said that.
So when you do, write that down before you forget it, and like
okay.
put it in the frame, you know, the picture frame.
Put it in the frame
Yeah.
with the pic.
Yeah,
Well, you know,
Quote it
it's
out.
recorded, so I'll just go back and write it out like I just
Yeah.
said. So like
Well, that's good. That we
yeah.
recorded.
The minute mark
Yeah,
is
this
around
is-
20 minutes. 20 minutes.
20 minutes. All right.
Yeah. 20, maybe
So-
21 minutes. Yeah, because then you can
Somewhere
put you can put the picture of you and him like sharing the guitar. I think that's really cute. And then
Yeah.
the guitar pick, and then you had that his quote underneath. That's
Yeah.
all.
And then I could just put like a little heart around everything, little heart.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
We all joking. I'm like, yeah, I would. I don't know what I would do, bro.
Dude,
I would-
Elizabeth was like, "Oh,
yeah,
my
what did she
goodness,
say?
you're gonna leave me for Jon Foreman."
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
dude, I was
yes.
like, yeah,
I thought we had like a really good spot, and then you showed me the front row. I'm like, oh my gosh, you got so.
Oh, yeah, Victor
and
check-
then
yeah.
like you totally like just one up me in like the most like amazing way possible. I was
Dude.
like, yeah, I was like two people from the front. I was like, oh, this is sick. And like the pit was pretty full at the one I went to, but it was yeah, and then like yeah, there was a lot of different things happened at that concert too, but. Yeah, you totally one up me. Good. I'm happy
Yeah.
to go. I'm so happy.
There's
No,
something.
thank- yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. Go ahead, Tony.
I was gonna say, Victor, did they do an after show in Kentucky?
No. So I didn't go to the Kentucky one. I went to the one in Columbus. They
Oh,
did
my
do
bad,
an
my bad.
after show. They did do an after show for the one in Kentucky. Which I didn't I had deleted like social media. I was spending too much time on social media, so I like deleted it, and I was like, so I totally missed that.
Yeah.
I wish I was paying attention to it though. Now that I think about it, because I could have just gone to the after show. Because it was I think it was on a Wednesday or a Tuesday, the one that they did in Newport, and so I had something going on that week that I wasn't able to go. So, but I still wanted to see them since like Columbus is only like an hour and a half away from me, like with like light traffic. So I was like, I'll just go to the one in Columbus on Sunday. But yeah, they did do an after show at the Newport one, but I didn't get a chance to make it out
not
there
Columbus
because of
though.
that.
Yeah, they don't do. They were in New York, but it was like a standing. My wife is pregnant, so I didn't want her to stand the whole time. I didn't want to go by
Oh yeah,
myself either.
she went
Yeah.
with you.
No. I didn't go to the one in New York because it was like a standing venue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't want her to
Yeah.
like stand the whole time.
But
And
see, the
so-
thing is like you'll have a moment. I don't know if it's gonna look exactly like mine, but like
Oh yeah.
I didn't go last time Jon Foreman was in town. And the thing is, like
Yes.
that crowd that would have been there would have been bigger because that was a Christian concert. the last time he was out there, and so there would be more apt to have his audience there.
Yeah.
And then like this I don't know how it was for you, Victor, at your venue, but Switchfoot was like the smallest crowd, like in the front.
No,
Blue October was.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just like, no, I was just saying Blue October was the big one. Like everybody, there's tons of people for Blue October. But what about you? What was the experience for you, Victor?
For us, it was like, so with me, Blue October opened, and then it was Matt Nathanson, and then Switchfoot closed. So like there was a lot of people there for Blue October, but a lot of people stayed, and there was a pretty big crowd by the time Switchfoot was on. So like there was a decent crowd for Blue October in the beginning, because there was a lot of people, like I said, that were there for that, to see them. But as the night progressed, they all hung out, and then there was a pretty big Switchfoot crowd there too. Actually, I saw a lot of people with their Switchfoot stuff. I think it was a pretty big Switchfoot presence. Like everybody that was around me was like singing the songs, like they knew. And I was like, like I said, I was like right in the heart almost of like the pit.
Yeah. No, it was a very different experience. It was a pretty small crowd. Only like when I looked back, it was like people my age or older, and that knew the lyrics and that were dancing around. But then afterwards, I just like I said, I was really just focused on being in the moment. And during the concert. But my thing is like the crowd for Switchfoot was small, and so then the after show was a small crowd too, which also increased the chance of this happening.
Something like that happening.
And so like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like if I would have gone the other time, like the chances of something like that would have happened.
Yeah, with Drake and Jon Foreman.
Yeah,
Christian Drake.
Yeah. Yeah.
We would have had a bunch
you don't
of
know
people.
what we're talking about. Yeah.
Look.
But yeah, I gotta tell you about Elizabeth's reaction though. That was really funny.
Okay.
So I called Elizabeth, and
were you crying?
Dude, I was shaking. You know, like after like you have an adrenaline rush and your body comes down from it. Like that was me. And also it was kind of getting cold, so I could I literally told my friends, like, I don't know why I'm shaking. I don't know if I'm shaking because of how excited I am or because of how cold it is outside, because it was a little chilly. And so but I called Elizabeth, and my voice is like shaking. I was like, "You won't believe what happened." And then she was like, "Seriously, I'm not kidding." And then she was like, "What?" And then as soon as she said "what," somebody yelled out, "Hey, Cesar, you did a good job." And I was like, "Thanks a lot, man." And then she just said it. She's like, "You played his guitar, didn't you?" And I was like, "Yes. Can you believe it?" She's like, "Oh my goodness." She's like, she couldn't believe that it happened. And then I ended up just basically telling her the same story I just told you, just a shorter version of it. And then we got in the car and went home. And then Elizabeth is not a night owl, right? She's like super tired right now with nursing the baby, but she was wide awake when I got home. So she must have been just as excited as I was to find out that I did that. And so I just told her the whole story again. I couldn't sit still. I was like walking around her bedroom, and I tried to go to sleep and I couldn't. So I got up and ate some food and tried to go back. I just could not go to sleep. I ended up going to sleep like after 1 o'clock, I think, in the morning.
Yeah,
and so when I was laying in bed, Elizabeth, she was still awake too. She was like, running off my energy. And she put her head on my shoulder, and we were just laying there. And I looked at her. I was like, "Elizabeth, what does it feel like to be in bed with a rock star?"
Oh my god!
What's today's date?
Today is the 26th. Yeah.
Okay. What's plus 9 months? Let's mark that on our calendar, guys.
No, nothing happened, dude. Dude, we have newborns. We're too tired for any of that fun stuff. So, but
oh man!
Thank you, Jon Foreman. Jon Foreman was a catalyst to a new child.
Thank you. Baby Fresh,
dude, it was great.
2025.
It was great. No, she just laughed at me and then just smacked me. She's like, "Oh, be quiet," and then that was it. But yeah, dude. And then to end my story, and I'll stop talking so much about it. But to end my story, I woke up this morning, got ready for work, and got out. And I was up early. I mean, still full of energy from everything, even though I didn't get any sleep.
Yeah.
Got up early, walked out, and there was a sunrise. And I just looked out on my front porch, and with beautiful, cool air, mountain air, the sunrise coming up. And then I'm just like, dude, I just had I'm supposed to just go on and live my normal life now. Like, like this is just like, it's wild, dude. Like after something like that, you just, okay, now I'm just gonna go back to my normal life. Like, but like I was just thinking, dude, life is good, man.
Yeah.
Life
It
is
is.
so good.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's the best way to conclude your story. Life is good, and
Yeah.
I think I think I have nothing else to say. I am literally speechless, bro. I was gonna say something, but I think it couldn't happen to a more deserving man.
Oh,
God has
that's so
rewarded
nice to
you,
say.
bro. No, for sure,
Thank
man.
you.
And what I was gonna say is, out of all the places on this earth, Jon Foreman went to Nampa, Idaho twice this year, which is so incredibly random. And that's right where you're at. And so it was meant to be. You got to meet him. I do agree with Christian Drake. That's actually such a smart thing for you to say. Earlier this year, it's good that you missed it because Christian Drake would have brought in a bunch of people, and that after show would have been chaos. Whereas the Blue October is a completely different scene.
Audience.
Yeah. So it's going to be less people who overlap between Switchfoot and Blue October, and so like it was less people, and so gave you the opportunity to have your moment with the greatest musician of our generation.
Yeah, dude.
How does it feel to? Yeah.
No,
Victor?
sorry. No, he's a great performer too. Like, I remember like that first concert that we all three went to, like in was it like Harrisburg or York? I don't remember.
York.
York. Like it was good. Like that was good performing, but like at like a stand up venue like that is a whole nother animal.
Oh yeah, dude,
you know what I mean?
dude, whole other experience.
Bruh.
Whole other animal. Like Emma was like when we left, she was like, we need to go to another concert. Like she was just like so hyped about the whole thing. She got to she like gave him like a bro hug whenever he was making his way through the crowd.
Yeah.
Emma
Nice.
got to do that, and then we helped him like push him up over that fence where the crowd is whenever he got back on stage. But that's as far. I thought that was the sickest experience. I was like, oh yeah, I touched his back, cool. And then Cesar just goes and plays the guitar with him. I'm like, oh my god.
So I want to finish this. But Victor, you're right. Like it feels like you had the experience, and you're like, oh, I'm never gonna take a shower again. But then after what happened with Cesar, Victor, my question
It's like a whole
for you
different
is,
animal.
yeah. Do you think Cesar will ever take a shower or wash
I
that
don't
shirt
think so.
ever again?
That shirt's gonna
I'm
get
still
framed.
wearing it
probably.
from yesterday, dude. I haven't taken it off.
All right, but are you ever gonna take a shower like ever again, or anything like that? Because his germs are still on you.
I know. There's gonna be a day that has to happen, and we'll mourn
Just frame the shirt
when it does. But
Like
for
Jon
now, we'll see what.
Okay. Man. So
Yeah.
for now, Cesar is not taking a shower, and I want to end this by a little. I want people to hear. Okay, here's you.
The empty shell of a man I don't like so well. I am a living,
Breathing hell.
Come on and resurrect me.
Here's the guitar pick.
Oh, I can hear you say that now. I was wondering what you said there.
wait, it's still yours. No, take it. I think it's actually Brian from Blue October. So keep paying it forward. This is.
Yeah. Now I know what
That's
you're
what he
saying.
said. Yeah.
I love the way you say nice. You're like, oh, nice. Like it sounds so like it sounds like such like not in a bad way. I'm not meaning it in like any mean way. You sound like a little kid. Like you're like, oh yay, like you know what I mean?
It
love
was.
It was. Well, I love that raw
He
reaction.
unlocked
from
the
you.
child
That's so
inside of
cool.
me again. And actually, I did tell that to Elizabeth last night. It's like I just feel young again. Like I was been telling her for like a while. Like I just miss that young, adventurous, happy-go-lucky, and I got to feel it again last night. It was awesome, and
Mhm.
yeah, it was really good, and he really did make you feel like a friend. Like I know,
Yeah.
you know, you want to believe that that's how he is all the time, and I hope. I mean, probably that's how he is. That's how I really feel. But like, I just felt like a friend playing with a friend. I mean, I was super nervous, but it
Yeah.
did feel that way.
Well, maybe we can. Maybe I'll reach out to him in the DMs if he
Yeah,
reminds you.
yeah.
Maybe
Just
we can
just
get
reach
a
out to him, ask him
connection.
if he wants to see if he wants to guest on the podcast.
Yeah,
Oh, dude, I
I'll
gotta spruce
try.
this thing up.
It's like,
Yeah,
hey, it's your
let's
boy.
try to milk this. Let's just milk this.
Yeah.
It's your boy
Offer
Cesar Perez.
Offer free
All
legal
right.
advice pro bono.
Well, I gotta get going, guys. I have a Bible study with some of my high school kids. They're here right now, waiting for me to get off. So I'm gonna get going. But
So have fun teaching
That
Jon
was
Foreman
awesome.
to them, guys. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Peace.
Congrats,
thank you so
Cesar.
much. Thank you.
Peace, guys. Peace.
Bye.
Love you guys.
Thank you for listening to Switchfoot 182, a song-by-song Switchfoot podcast. Follow us on Instagram at Switchfoot182. If you have a question or a comment, send us an email at switchfoot182@gmail.com. That's 182 spelled out, in words, not numbers. I'm your co-host Tony. Until the next time.